On the go? Download the free andrewhogue.com iPhone and Android app, so we'll never be apart. This is Andrew Hogue for andrewhogue.com, still Australia's only 24/7 rock metal radio station. Now, before we get underway and introduce our guest, I have to extend a huge amount of gratitude for the child trauma that was created when I walked in on the last 10 minutes of the 1978 Halloween movie at a family relative's house, and I've been chasing that rush ever since. I want to welcome Mr. John Carpenter to the airwaves of andrewhogue.com because we've got so much stuff to get underway, but wow, this is a privilege. G'day, John. How you doing?
How you doing, Andrew? I'm good.
I'm great. It's just such an honour to be speaking with you, and I know, obviously, everyone knows about the incredible output of movies you've put out, but of course, being a rock metal radio station, we're here to talk a lot about the music you've been putting out the last couple of years under the moniker of Lost Themes. And wow, where do we start? Where do I start? Well, you've been a composer for a long time, writing all the music in your movies, which are just staples in just soundscapes are amazing. But being a sort of musician, is this a different feeling for you now?
It's awesome. Yes, it's different. It's I'm making music for the movies in your mind, and it's just a blast, man. Let me tell you what it's like to work with my son and godson. It's just sensational. So we're doing a lot of improvisational stuff. What you're hearing is tunes and themes that come out of us, and we love doing it.
And what I love about those records you've been putting out, being Lost Themes, because being in the world of heavy metal for myself in radio for over 30 years, you know, there's such a massive scene of progressive metal and progressive rock, a lot of instrumental progressive bands as well. And the more I hear a lot of these bands over the years, I just go, that's just John Carpenter. Yet now you're finally in that sort of progressive realm as a musician. And again, I can rattle off a bunch of names you might have heard of that, to me, have the Carpenter stamp. There's a band called Perturbator, there's Zombie, there's Carpenter Brute. Obviously, numerous other bands have written about the characters of the movies you've made, but how do you feel now being sort of a part of that progressive sort of rock metal scene after all the stuff you've done in the past as being, of course, a movie director and also a composer? But
well, let me put it this way, but let me ask you a question first.
Yeah.
When you say Zombie, are you talking about the band, Simon Eddy's band? Oh, they're fabulous. Are you kidding me?
I love that band. Every time they put an album out, it's in my top 10. Even the Lost Themes have been in my top 10s for the years when they've come out as well. I love this sort of music.
Simon Eddy is a friend of mine, and I mean, his score to Suspiria is a genius.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. But having said that, what was your question? I wanted to geek out on it.
Just more about, the fact that, you're a musician playing in a band, putting out records, and you're out in that sort of space.
Oh, yeah. I never feel like I've arrived anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm something I've done all my life is there's never a place, a destination, and I'm here now. It doesn't work that way. My parents taught me just to create, and that's life. Create. So that's what I'm doing.
Because I know that your father was a music teacher, so I presume that he had such a inspiration on you sort of creating music before you sort of delved into film, correct?
That's correct, and I did. A lot of music when I was young. I grew up with music. My dad, when I was 8, he tried to get me to play the violin. There was one problem. I had no talent whatsoever. So I went from there after put the violin down, the keyboards and guitars and such.
Now let's talk a bit about, I know it's a different headspace. You've mentioned this a few times in interviews, composing music for scenes in your movies over the years versus writing music as a band with, as I mentioned, your godson and also your son Cody as well. How is the headspace of that when it's like, all right, let's just write music and then, okay, I've got to create a score?
Well, a score for somebody else is wonderful to do. We worked with David Gordon Green on the recent Halloween movies, but he would guide us. We would have spotting sessions, and he would tell us what he needed, what the scene required from his point of view, and our job was to fulfill that. So we had a guidepost.
Now, talking a bit about working on those, recent films, I saw Halloween Ends last night, which I enjoyed. It definitely had a lot of surprises. But when you're now working on films that others are recreating from what you created, I mean, have you sort of removed yourself from, I created this whole thing, to, all right, you want this sort of soundtrack-ish? Okay, I'll come up with this sound.
Well, it's all creation. It's just a different kind. When I directed Halloween, so I considered that my movie. But I don't consider anything since to be mine. It was all other directors did it. So I provided music for a lot of them, but that's a different occupation.
Mm.
So it's fun to make music for the Halloween movies. I don't have any proprietary interest in Michael Myers in my life. Now, he's something I invented back then, and that's fine.
And if it just stayed as just the 1978 and there was nothing after that, where do you think it would be now as far as the sort of popularity and the just that character is just, it's part of culture?
I have no idea, and that's not, thank God I don't have to answer or deal with questions that are what if.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm happy that he's lived on. I'm happy that Jamie Lee's character, Laurie, has lived on. And I think it's tremendous.
Now, as far as the touring stuff, because I know you've gone out and done some shows once you sort of got the Lost Themes and the band up and running, is that a plan for you to start doing a lot more touring? I know that the pandemic sort of shut down everybody's lives to an extent, but is touring something that you're interested in doing a lot more of?
I might do it again. But, I'm an old man now, so, it's not that easy to go out and traverse across the world playing. And I need my American coffee and my basketball and my video games.
And would we ever see an opportunity to have, John Carpenter come to Australia to play some live performances? It's not that far away.
Yeah, yes, it is. It's hugely far. I mean, you have to almost fly around the world.
Yeah.
We'll see. I might. It'd be fun to go.
Because I've watched stacks of YouTube videos of live footage and gigs and stuff you've done, and I just think, man, I just want to see this live, because not only do I love the music scores of all the films you've put out over the years, but again, all the music from the Lost Themes albums are just standalone songs. They're great compositions, and it's just salivating for the Carpenter experience live, so we can hopefully keep our fingers crossed.
That's right. But, you can experience secondhand the Carpenter experience by buying the DVD of the concert.
Absolutely.
I recommend it highly.
Now, do you keep up to date with what's happening in sort of progressive metal and rock sort of bands and stuff like that? I know your godson Daniel was, a member of a great band I've listened to for years called Karma to Burn. But do you sort of, because there's so much stuff out there, and as I mentioned before, I really hear a lot of your influences in a lot of those bands today from the scores you made over the years. So do they keep you up to date with, hey man, check out this band and stuff like that, as far as sort of, heavy rock and sort of metal acts? Because I know you are a big heavy metal fan as well, which is great to hear.
Yes, I don't keep up as much as I should. Listen, I need some advice from you. Who should I listen to?
Wow, that's a loaded question, because I'm trying to keep my head above water with the amount of music that's out there these days. I mean, oh wow, now I'm stumped. There's just so many, so it all really just depends on the sort of sounds that you're interested in, really. So I'd have to come up with a list and send it to you.
I want you to give me 5 bands I should listen to. 5. That's
5
all.
bands you should listen to.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we got confused before with a band called Zombie. It's Zombi. They're a band from Detroit. They're a 2-piece band. Actually, no, they're from Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. It's
Yeah.
Steve Moore
I know
and
that.
oh, so that yeah, okay, we got that right. Yeah, so that's obviously you know them. So let me have a think. Bands who okay, well, actually, I need your help. What sort of sounds do you want? Brutality? Do you want fast stuff? Do you want speed? I mean, there's just so many different.
You're putting it back on me. I want some of your favorites. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, a band with intense emotion is Gojira. You might have heard of them from France.
Oh yeah, how about that?
Great band. They really sing more about the sort of, I guess about the planet. They're very eco-friendly heavy metal band.
Yeah.
But emotionally live, they are incredible. You might have heard of Mastodon.
I haven't heard of them. No.
Okay, that's another band to check out. Man, where else are they? I'm just going through my list here on the in the studio right now, trying to influence John Carpenter, the John Carpenter on heavy metal. You would have heard of Meshuggah by some chance, I'm sure.
Nope.
You've never heard of Meshuggah? Okay, I hope you're taking that down. It's spelled Mesh.
All right.
Uggah.
All right. I will check them out.
They're a Swedish band, and I mean, really a lot of progressive stuff in their sound. Odd time signatures. I mean, I reckon you just get your head around it and go, "Wow, where have I been?" This band
sounds good.
is godly. So there's a couple there that it's been listed for you as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Again, so many of your films, I believe, especially one film, They Live, is so relative for today, in my opinion. I picked up the 4K Blu-ray because I'm all about the physical, and the quality looks awesome, by the way. I'm a, AV nerd. When you look at that film, it's just like, damn, did you know what was happening at that time that would be relative to what it is these days? Because, wow, it really is one of those, man, this is now. And it's crazy.
I'd like to tell you that I'm a prophet, but no, I'm not. That was the story. I want to tell the story, and it was in a sense, the theme of it was we had a tough time here in America with the '80s. It was Reagan's America, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I attacked it, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah,
because the '80s never ended, and financially, it still was.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. When you look around now, it really does. Like I said, it's so relative. Just the way people are programmed today, where we've just become so disconnected. We're more connected than ever in the technology sense, but in the emotional sense, we've become very disconnected. People just walk with their heads down, staring at their phones. They walk into you or walk into a pole, and you just think, what's happened? As much as I love technology, it's like we were the masters that built it. Now we're enslaved by it. And, again, like how when he puts on the glasses and he's just consume and buy and do this and do that, it's just crazy. People don't leave their houses anymore because of the pandemic. I'm just going to order online,
Well, it's all true. It's all true. And if you look through those glasses, man, you see the truth.
Absolutely.
The truth
you are a prophet, Mr. Carpenter. You are a prophet.
I don't know about that, but
now I don't have you for too long, so what we could do is get you to choose 2 songs from any of the Lost Themes albums that we can feature on the station.
Well, okay, there's one from Lost Themes 2. It's called Dirty Blues, that I'm really fond of.
Yep.
And I think it's pretty cool. And oh man, now you're putting me on the spot for the other one. Well, from the first album, I like Vortex.
Yep.
I like the beat of it and the feel of it. So there you go. There's 2.
And just one song from your favorite heavy metal band that you're digging. I know you're a fan of Baby Metal, which I've seen live a few times. They're incredible.
Oh man, Baby Metal? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I've seen them a few times.
I love Baby Metal.
Yep.
Now there you go, Baby Metal forever. I love the Elevator, their song Elevator.
Yeah.
I think it's fabulous. It's just fabulous. So there you go, Elevator, man.
Awesome. And I guess just when you look back at your film career, I know you don't like to talk too much about your movies or even go back and watch them. You sort of let the fans just do the talking for you, and I respect that.
That's right.
But if
Yep.
you were to look back and go, you know what, that was actually a fucking good film, what would one of those movies out of your incredible legacy you'd look back on and go, yeah, that was pretty cool?
I refuse to answer that question. I don't know. I love them all. I made them all,
Yeah.
and they're in my heart. So I can't answer it. I don't know.
Now, how would you like to be remembered? I'm not trying to put you in the tombstone just yet, Mr. Carpenter, but just for what you've done. I mean, you've given so much, I guess, trauma to me and joy at the same time for what you've put out with your creations.
Well, on my tombstone, I would like to have written, "I'll be right back."
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, John. I've been really looking forward to this chat and I've enjoyed it thoroughly. So I thank you so much for your time.
Andrew, thank you very much, man. And you carry on there.
Absolutely, to the death. And I hope you can check out some of those bands I've listed because it's just a rabbit hole. There's so much great stuff out there, and who knows, maybe those bands will take you out on tour, and hopefully we can never get the chance to get you to come to Australia. If not, I'll just have to whip on over to LA, and every time I get there, I always pop into Orange Grove looking for Michael, but he's never home, so I'm channeling I'm channeling him some way. I always hit the sites. I love it. I just obsessed.
Okay. Andrew, take care.
Thank you, John. Let's hear some music from John Carpenter. This is from the Lost Themes Records, as well as his favourite band called Baby Metal. This is AndrewHogue.com. Thank you, John.
Thank you very much, man. Take care.
You too. Appreciate it.